All right, we back. Sorry about that. I had to switch something. I had to switch a setting. That was my fault. Please explain why you think Dillian White is worth Wilder's time. Oh, we gonna talk about it. Yeah, we back up in it. That was actually my bad. I just been. I'm always looking to improve things around the house. Clean house. I did my spring cleaning, so I was playing with the setting, and then what I noticed is, for a small quality increase, it makes the chat lag even more. And it wasn't that high of a quality increase or anything, to the point where I'd rather have the chat more responsive. It's called latency. I'd rather it was pushing y'all comments out farther. Like, I would be like, can I get a hell yeah? And then I would look, and then it'd be silence because it wasn't in like real time for y'all. So this reduces the lag. There's a button I could hit to allegedly increase the quality, but it wasn't no major difference in picture quality. So I was like, fuck that. I'd rather be able to see the responses. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. He been holding it down. Wilder need to stay away from AJ fight. Let's see AJ do this shit on his own. He is, according to Shelly Finkel. So I'm happy. I just did, and you know what the funny thing is? Once again, new media. I just did a video about this. This is before this article even came out. What the fuck? Hold on. Yeah, this is before this article even came out with Shelly Finkel. What I tell y'all yesterday? I said, man, if I was Wilder, I wouldn't go to Joshua's fight. I explained it. Old media looking sketch. I told you, we turning old media like I'm Mount Vesuvius out this motherfucker, bro. We leaving old media in ruins. See, y'all messing with a real one. Street smart, book smart, whatever you want. Some of y'all don't even know what Mount Vesuvius is because you don't know your history. Google it. I'm gonna turn this motherfucker to Mount Vesuvius, bro. Old media is a dub. I told y'all, you should have left us alone. We're going to talk about it, though. The heavyweight division is back, but it's back on our terms. Everything goes through new media. Everything starts from now. We control the narrative in this bitch. They tried so bad to hate on Wilder. So bad. And, you dudes from the UK can be like, oh, you're an arse slicker and all this stupid shit. We don't care about none of that unless you're willing to prove what is being said wrong. That's it. Don't look at, oh, he's a proper shit house and dosser and he's an arse licker and all this stuff. Make them, this is my only, I'm not even telling y'all who to believe in. I'm not telling y'all who to believe in, but what I am saying is make them explain it to you. You guys are the fans. So if someone says, oh, Ego's a, bootlicker and arse licker and all this shit, you love PBC and all Wilder, that's fine and dandy. Make them explain. Make them explain the logic that I'm taking the time to explain, and make them explain how what I'm saying does not make sense. With facts, not like presumptions and assumptions and things like that. Make them. That's all we want. And they can't do that, and we know they can't do it. That's why you seen how brazy it went with the super chats yesterday. They were going crazy in the super chats. That's why we keep excelling. You never see them double up. You never see them level up like this. People want that real. They like boxing. They love boxing. And they want that real. And we the real deal Holyfield. So it's going to be that way, baby. Wilder need to treat AJ like a thirsty bitch. Don't pay attention to them. And they can't stand but to sweat you. They slipped the jab going ham. But true words, though. What he's saying, it makes sense. He put it in a humorous way, but what he's saying makes sense. Listen, I told you, last year, Joshua, this is what's happening. This is the old switcheroo. Last year, Joshua and Eddie Hearn, they were Milton Bradley. They were playing all the games. Wilder had no choice. He was left hung to dry. He was left out there to crash and burn, and he had to figure it out. fortunate for him, the brain power behind his operation had the wherewithal to push for the Tyson Fury fight. So it gave Wilder a tremendous boost in momentum, even coming off of a draw, because he at least fought Tyson Fury. Nobody can fault Tyson Fury or Wilder for making the first fight happen. It's what boxing needed, and they got it done last year. So that, coupled with the fact that he fought Luis Ortiz, he clearly had a better year, in my opinion, than Joshua. Even though Joshua unified with Joseph Parker, Tyson Fury is the lineal champion. And if Luis Ortiz or Tyson Fury would have fought and been given the opportunity to fight Joseph Parker, I'm pretty sure people would have favored Parker to lose that fight, you know? So you people can go off of rankings and belts and you know, and act like they don't know what the fuck is up. But come on, you know, in boxing, that doesn't tell the whole tale. Like, let's say Lomachenko could fight Luke Campbell. You know, it's not the worst fight ever, but it's definitely not the best fight ever. Teofimo might be able to, with no belts, you know, even though Luke Campbell is rated #1 with the WBC, that's a ranking. He has 2 losses. He lost to Jorge Linares, a guy Lomachenko beat. Styles make fights. So stylistically, Teofimo might be able to give Lomachenko more issue than a guy who's rated #1 in a division or in a sanctioning body. You see, boxing is fickle like that. Luis Ortiz might not have a belt, but Wilder got a lot of respect fighting Luis Ortiz, because we all know that Luis Ortiz is the real deal when it comes to you know, being a difficult heavyweight to beat. Can y'all hear me? Like, this, it's just, y'all gotta smash the like button, drop a comment like, it always gets weird. I always feel like it's my side. So yeah, we like belts and rankings and stuff, but it's like CompuBox. CompuBox is a cool guide, but they don't tell you everything you need to know with the fight. You know, because we don't know what they counted as a punch. You know, it could have been partially blocked and they counted as a full punch. You know, shit like that. So, bottom line, Wilder had a better 2018 than Joshua, and he stole the momentum, and then he carried on that momentum and annihilated his mandatory, who happened to be a guy that Joshua faced, and it took 7 rounds. Now you see Charlemagne, you see Brendan Schaub, and they're noting this, just like I said that. Joshua took 7 rounds with Brazil, and Brazil he was getting beat up, and he was losing, his eye was going away, but he never looked as discombobulated as what it took Wilder to do in 1 round. That's a fact. If anyone wants to say that Wilder, you know, didn't damage Brazil worse than AJ, then you're clearly, you know, you're just being biased on some pro AJ shit. Paulie Malignaggi said it, Brendan Schaub, Charlemagne, me, you know, everyone's saying it, bro. Yeah, I mean, there's really no argument you can even make how it took 7 rounds, and you know, and the cold part about it is Brazil seemed more ready for the Wilder fight and more prepared and had done more since the Joshua loss than he had done before the Joshua fight. You get what I'm saying? Like, he was coming off a Amir Mansour performance pre-Joshua, and he didn't look good in that fight. He had since, you know, got some cool stoppages like Eric Molina, Carlos Negron, and shit like that, and that African dude. So, you know, he actually looked better since the Joshua loss. Just like Dillian White. Dillian White has looked better since the Joshua loss. That's what it takes sometimes. Make sure you guys smash the like button. AJ made it worse for himself when he said, I hope Wilder takes longer to beat him than I did. Shout out to Darnell. Exactly. So, and he made that statement and it backfired, just like a lot of stuff that they've been doing. You made the statement, I hope he takes longer. And see, the reason is because these fans are foolish. They treat this boxing shit like gangbanging. So it's like they want to pick a side and, rep where they from and, stupid shit like that. But boxing don't work like that. And so many people shame Wilder and say he sucks and bum, no technique, windmill Wilder, that they're not giving him any credit for the strengths that he does have, which one of them is strength, physical strength. You know, he also has a good jab. He also is very athletic. But let them tell it. They tell you that he's horrific. Someone said that's how insecure AJ is. Yeah, that could be. It could be an insecurity, you know. And he did make it worse because he said, I hope he stops him 2 rounds after me or whatever he said. And then Wilder went and blew him out. And it shocked people. See, he thought that was a possibility because he knew how he knows he has punching power, and he knows how tough Brazil was to actually force the stoppage. And then Wilder, his power is just next level. He has the might of Thor and shit. Because for him, he got him out of there, and it was really set up with a one-hitter quitter. So yeah, that was another hit on Joshua. So old media is a dying breed, bro. I just keep put it this way. How do I keep predicting the future? The reason is it's easy to see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? The reason is I keep getting it right. New media, we keep getting it right. Bro, I don't even remember the last major thing. I'm not saying I'll never be wrong. I'm a human, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no god. I'm the boxing god, but you know, I'm sure I'll get something wrong, but on major issues, I haven't really got anything wrong. Told you Brazil was going to lose. Told you Mikey Garcia was going to lose. Do you get what I'm saying? I told you that Luis Ortiz wasn't going to get the Dillian White fight in December with Derek Chisora. I told you that AJ wasn't going to fight Wilder next, wasn't going to fight Fury or Luis Ortiz next. I told you AJ, when Gerald Miller failed a drug test, it wasn't going to be Luis Ortiz. You know, even though they're in negotiation, offers were made. I told you guys all this stuff. So, you know, how are we predicting all of this stuff? It's because it's plain to see. Old media, their tactics no longer work anymore. You know, the simple Al Heyman's a cancer, just blanket statements. You know, Al Heyman's a cancer. Nobody's just going to run with that. See, they used to have minions who had channels and different presence. You know, the times were different. Like circa 2015, you could just say all that bullshit. You know, Pacquiao's going to destroy Mayweather and Al Heyman's a cancer. But so much has unfolded before our eyes, it doesn't even sound right saying the bullshit. Like, literally, in 2015, people were saying Al Heyman is the cancer and he's all that's wrong with boxing, cherry-pick mismatches. But if you say that now, you look stupid because the biggest fights, look at DAZN's fight this weekend is Devin Haney versus Antonio Moran. I like Devin Haney, but it's not a big fight. You know, Michael Hunter versus a 40-year-old UFC fighter turned boxer who admitted to being on PEDs when he was in the UFC. That's not a big fight card. You know, Tyson Fury, Tom Schwartz is not a big fight card. See, and this is the thing. I told you guys with these companies are trying to splurge. They're trying to, like, you can't buy the public. You get what I'm saying? You can't buy the public. Like, DAZN and Top Rank and different stuff and ESPN, no matter how much money you have, you're not going to be able to buy the public opinion like that. This is not the mafia where you can, you know, turn some good cops crooked and have them doing dirt for you, you know, and just have some dirty cops working for you. It's not that easy in boxing. The fans know what's going on, and they're trying to make a bunch of foreign fighters, which I have no problem. Like, I'm not trying to sound like Trump or something. Like, I don't want foreign fighters here, some stupid bullshit. So don't ever misconstrue or take what I say out of context. But what I'm saying is, instead of sharing the love, they want to do what HBO. It's really HBO 2.0. Everything HBO boxing did and went under for, they're still trying to keep it up because that's the bigoted, old school, old media, racist bias, you know, favoritism way to, you know, you already see it. Naoya Inoue, he's dope. He got 16 fights. They're already putting him, he's coming for the number 1 spot. He's better than Terrence Crawford. You know, if Andre Ward was here, they would say he's better than him still. You know, they'll say he's going to break Floyd's record. You know, just the same shit over and over. And they don't realize by doing that, especially in this digital age where people get to, you know, have new media and different things like that available to them, nobody's just buying the bullshit. And you look crazy. You know, they're still trying to pump and create the great white hype. That's what I'm saying. Anybody non-black, they would rather them be celebrated. Lomachenko, how is he still number one on ESPN's pound for pound list? I'm still trying to figure out. You moved up to lightweight. You had 3 performances, and two of them shits was due. One was the other was Illmatic. And the one Illmatic performance was against the worst guy, Anthony Corolla. And they still keep trying to push this envelope. So, you know, it used to be offensive because it's just like, wow, they really going to try to do the fighters like that. But now I like it. It's good because we're gaining strength. Like I said, you've seen the super chats come in. We're fully sufficient now. You know what I'm saying? We control the narrative. So now it doesn't even matter. They can keep doing that. But they're the ones, when you're not calling this boxing thing even, Steven, and fair, you're the one that looks crazy. I didn't look crazy. You ain't never heard me say Chocolatito was the number 1 pound for pound person. Number 1. I always detested that. I always said, nah, he got to do way more. You know what I'm saying? But they're the ones that said it. So just like Eddie Hearns and Anthony Joshua in this situation, all this old media shit, notice one common denominator. The shit that they say doesn't last for any length of time. I repeat, the shit they say does not last for any length of time. Meaning, if you look at this whole Joshua Wilder saga, the shit that Eddie Hearn was saying last year, the shit Anthony Joshua was saying last year, does not hold up to right now. The shit I was saying last year still applies to this year, and I haven't been proven wrong to this day. You know, that's the difference. I can give you example on top of example. Eddie Hearn says Wilder's worth $12.5 million for Joshua. Allegedly, he got $10 million to fight Brazil. So you mean to tell me a Joshua fight is worth only $2.5 million worth more than, you know, he allegedly got for fighting Brazil? You know, DAZN was going to offer him a 3-fight deal, $20 million, $40 million, $40 million, and then he could have fought Brazil for $20 million on DAZN. You mean to tell me that, you know, Brazil on DAZN is worth more than Joshua versus Wilder on DAZN? Come on, bro. Shout to Kane. Exactly. He said they always have to walk back the stuff they say. That's what I'm saying. They say stuff like Dominic Brazil, oh, he's going to cause a massive upset. Wilder's sloppy and he gets caught on the way. You know, they say all this shit. Then he gets stretched. Oh, Brazil was a bum. You know, they always got to change it. Everything they say, they got to change it. That's how it always goes. That's why you know who's winning this race. New media. And it just, I could do this all day. Like the contradictions, the statements that they had to retract, all that. Eddie Hearn was making Wilder sound ridiculous to even want 50-50. But as time goes on, you've heard Eddie Hearn say stuff like, oh, maybe we have to give him 50-50 just to get the fight to go. But before he was saying 50-50, hell no. Fuck no. No possible way. They have to keep going back on their word constantly. Joshua said, I don't want to fight in America. We built this hotbed of UK attraction and we want to keep it here in the UK. Plus, we don't have to deal with the refs and judges. Where's Joshua's next fight? June 1st in America. Once again, so you guys can try and let, you know, fast talking Ed and all that bamboozle you into feeling some different type of way. But the proof is in the pudding, and the real ones that followed the whole saga, that follow my channel, they know what's going on. Same thing with Luis Ortiz. That's why people saying Luis Ortiz ducked. They didn't duck, bro. he was given an opportunity with minimal time to figure it out, and his team sounded like they had some wires crossed. Some people were on board and some people weren't. That's what happens when you fucking wait. But had they not picked Gerald Miller, and then they would have, listen, Anthony Joshua last fought in September against Povetkin, September of last year. They had from, September 28th or whenever that fight ended, all the way to about January to work out a deal with Luis Ortiz. They didn't even make an offer for Joshua versus Luis Ortiz. That's their fault. They selected Gerald Miller, who would later fail a drug test. People didn't want Gerald Miller to begin with. People might have, at best, been willing to settle for Gerald Miller, but that wasn't the first choice on most people's list. If it wasn't going to be Wilder or Fury, people said Dillian White or Luis Ortiz. Right? And they still picked Gerald Miller. But then that backfired because he failed drug tests and messed up the event. Then it was only then that they started pursuing Luis Ortiz. It don't work like that. And Eddie Hearn and Joshua are quickly discovering they don't hold all the cards like they thought they did. That's why, Eddie Hearn is lucky. He's lucky that if Al Heyman was Al Heyman, he's better than me. I'm going to tell you in what way. If somebody does something to me, I have a crazy memory. I could be vindictive. If you try to fuck me over, I'm trying to fuck you over. If it's fuck me, then it's fuck you. That's how I am. He's lucky that Al Heyman has a bigger heart than I do. Because like I said, if somebody tries to fuck me over, I'm trying to fuck you over. If you want to ruin me, I'm trying to ruin you. That's just eye for an eye. That's how I am. But he's lucky because all that like mumbo jumbo that he said about Al Heyman, like taking shots and what the PBC did wrong and the PBC investors lost money and all this. He took a lot of shots at PBC. He's lucky to be even getting Andy Ruiz. And he admitted that. He said, oh, yeah, I got to thank Al Heyman for lending up his person, because had it not been for Andy Ruiz or an Al Heyman fighter, his event would totally be screwed. Because if he couldn't get Luis Ortiz, Wilder, or Andy Ruiz or Adam Kanowski, his event would really be fucked up. So Al Heyman's better than me because I wouldn't have gave him shit. You talking about me, I wouldn't have gave him nothing. That's just who I am as a person. You get what I'm saying? So he's lucky that he's lucky that Al Heyman wasn't so spiteful and vindictive that he didn't hold Andy Ruiz back from getting this opportunity and getting this bag to for the greater good of fucking over DAZN, because they would have been really, because Eddie Hearn didn't want to make Dillian White and AJ. That's why he made Dillian White Oscar Rivas, because he didn't want to put that in America. Why would you put a fight that would do better domestically in America? So you knew he wasn't going to do that. So it would have been Joshua versus Don King, Trevor Bryan, or Michael Hunter or something. So he's really lucky. He's lucky that Al Heyman, didn't use like a personal vendetta or the banter and the trash talk that he had give against him and not supply one of his fighters, because Andy Ruiz ain't with Top Rank anymore. So Al Heyman could have been like, no Al Heyman fighter is fighting to fill this date. But he didn't want to do that to his fighter. He gonna let them get their money. That's more than, PBC's gonna pay Andy Ruiz for, undercard fights. So he let him go get the money. But that would have been way worse if Al Heyman was spiteful and vindictive like that. And some people are like that, So they would have really been messed up. So he really should. That's a saving grace. That's a saving grace that Al Heyman even allowed his fighter, because their event would have been even. People are still criticizing the Andy Ruiz fight. So imagine if it was Michael Hunter. And I'm not saying it's right. Michael Hunter can scrap, Andy Ruiz can scrap. I'm just telling you what I've seen from the consensus. I'm just talking about big events. If it was Michael Hunter, I don't think that's a big event. If it's Trevor Bryan, it's not a big event, despite how they could possibly challenge. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the magnitude of AJ making a splash in America. So yeah, he's lucky that he was even afforded an opportunity to have any Al Heyman fighters face him after what he said, and that's just the reality of it. See, you got to learn how to play the game. You got to learn how to play the game for real. And Eddie Hearn, he, by the skin of his teeth, he got an Al Heyman fighter to fill in, but it didn't have to be that way, because Al Heyman could have really just said, nah, I ain't putting none of my fighters in with yours. So these are the realities. Luis Ortiz could have been picked for the last 2-3 years. You wait until you're in a point of need to reach out to him. That's not how life works. That's that pompous UK shit. You know what I'm saying? That arrogant, pompous attitude. So when you're in a bind and you need someone, everybody just has to bow down to you. Hell no, that's not how that works. You could have picked Luis Ortiz for the last 2-3 years, and see Eddie Hearn. See, I noticed this with certain white people, not all white people, certain white people that they're in, like, you see it in movies too and shit. Like, they're in other people's business. Like, oh yeah, Luis Ortiz, I mean, I hope he's getting $7 million to fight Deontay Wilder. That's none of your business. It don't matter how much he's getting. Like, that's between him, his team, and Wilder, and that, that's not none of your business. You see what I'm saying? It is none of your business any proceedings that have nothing to do with your company. This is what's the problem. I think the world in general would be a better place if people mind their beeswax, mind your own business like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, you always hear Eddie Hearn offering up predictions on what Broner Pacquiao numbers are going to do, saying Errol Spence versus Mikey is lucky to do 250,000, which it surpassed, of Luis Ortiz, hopefully he's getting $7 million to fight Wilder. Who cares? That's none of your concern. You don't give a fuck about Luis Ortiz. Stop it. If you cared about Luis Ortiz so much, you would have given him a full camp, and before Gerald Miller was ever even reached out to, you would have reached out to that man. Shout out to FN, $2 super chat. Props Ego, really enjoying these breakfast shows. See, y'all get distracted by a lot of dumb, fake shit. I miss me with all the fake shit, bro. Miss me with it. You can miss me with all of it. You're going to miss me so much with all the bullshit. I'm going to need a truancy officer to follow me around, because you can just miss me with all that. Bro, you don't care about Luis Ortiz. If you cared about Luis Ortiz like you're claiming to, then you would have gave him the opportunity for the last 3 years, especially when Joshua called him out on DAZN. You still pick Gerald Miller. You care about saving your own ass. You care about your event. You care about, DAZN paying you all this money, and you care about, being in their good graces. You don't care about Luis Ortiz. That's proven. Because if you cared about him, you would have offered him big money like that and big opportunity, not just when you need something. See, I told you, I only deal with two-way streets. I don't know about you guys in your personal life. Me personally, I only deal with two-way streets. For example, I don't have friends that don't check up on me unless they need something. I don't have any friends like that. The moment I notice that is the pattern, and you only reach out to me when you want something or when you need something, snip, snip. I cut that shit. I cut it. I'm Edward Scissorhands out this motherfucker. I'm Wolverine, Freddy Krueger. I cut it. I only deal with two-way streets. That's not how life works. If you don't care and give up when I'm down and out, you don't care how I'm doing. You don't call to check up on me. You don't text. See, let this be a lesson. If people don't check on you or see how you're doing when they don't need nothing, and they only hit you up when they need something, then that kind of shows what they think about you. It's more about their own selfish needs, wants, and desires as opposed to anything else. You know, even when I started this endeavor with this boxing shit, when I first started, I started off as 0 subscribers, like everybody on this platform. They can have 1 million subscribers, 1,000. You start off as 0 when you first start. I started off as 0. There were a lot of people and naysayers that I know personally. They couldn't understand the vision because it's easy to see the vision once it's all laid out and you get to live it and reap the benefits, the fruits of your labor. But when it's still like if you're looking at a plot of land and it's just blank land, it looks fucked up. Or let's say a distressed house. That's another good example. If there's a distressed house in Cleveland and the roof is falling apart, you know, you see water damage and water spots, the paint looks like shit, there's an odor in the house. It's easy to walk in the house like, fuck, nobody wants to buy this house because it's distressed. But then when you start dumping some money in, like some realtors that I know, and you start restoring the house, and then little by little, week after week, month after month, depending on how big of a crew you have restoring it, it starts to take shape. It starts to come to life. You say, okay, the roof got fixed. The odor's gone. You know, they vented it out, put some fans in. The odor's completely gone. You know, this glass mirror was cracked. They replaced it with a new mirror. You know, they swept up these piles of dirt. And week by week, month by month, you see that house starting to come to, you know, form a shape. Now people are inspired because you can actually see it. That's why I tell people, if you want to be successful in life, get started. Because just looking at it from afar is going to feel like this is an uphill battle. It's going to feel like you're so distant from your end goal because what you're doing is just looking at it. That's why you got to get started. The moment you get started and you start making a little bit of progress, then that could catapult you to the next phase. Oh shit, I got my first paycheck. Then that can inspire you to get your next paycheck. That's how it happened on YouTube. You know, start off as 0 subscribers. I get to 100. I'm like, damn, okay. Keep working. Like, damn, when is this going to ever? Then I finally get to 1,000. Then I'm the $5,000 man, the $10,000 man, then the $20,000. Okay, where can we really go with this? Then I get to 50,000. Okay, that's how it works. But the point being is this. When people don't see the vision because it's in its rawest form or hasn't been started, a lot of motherfuckers don't want to help you. They're not going to help you. They want to help you once it's already booming and popping. I don't deal with that. You know, so if Eddie Hearn really cared about Luis Ortiz, he wouldn't wait for his fight to be in peril because Gerald Miller failed with all these drugs. He would have gave that opportunity. You know, he's trying to spin it to the public. Oh, yeah. And so who would pass up an opportunity with 4 belts on the line and $7 million? If you really cared about Luis Ortiz, you would have gave him that same opportunity that you was trying to give Gerald Miller, you know, with the full camp, a press conference, you know, time to prepare, that type of stuff. But he didn't. So miss me with that Luis Ortiz duck shit because he could have been given that opportunity. And he wasn't. It was only when Team Joshua was in a time of need that they reached out to Luis Ortiz because their event got screwed up because of Gerald Miller's actions. Miss me with that. But you always hear Eddie Hearn talk about other people's numbers and money and talk about them DAZN numbers. How you more concerned with Broner Pacquiao and Spence Garcia and, you know, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia numbers and, you know, what Keith Thurman and Pacquiao are going to do? What about the Canelo? That's on your side. Canelo and Jacobs. What about them numbers? Break down the 600 concurrent. How many accounts was it? How many unique organic accounts was it? How come they didn't release the numbers to Dimitri Bivol's fights? How they didn't release the Andrade versus Artur Kov numbers? You know, Estrada came out with Sor Rungvisai. It was a good fight, but it came out the day the Avengers Endgame made $1 billion over the weekend. What numbers did that do? You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Stop it, new media. You're not gonna fool us with this type of stuff, you know. And like I said, when it comes to the one guy who's a nefarious, I'm not gonna say promoter because he's an advisor, but he's black and he's close. He's the closest thing to a promoter or somebody who's putting on fights or facilitating the fights being put on. Al Heyman seems to get the most hate. Notice he's not ever in front of anybody's camera. He still get the most hate. You know, people are always like pocket watching and crowd counting. That's my new shit, crowd counting. This is like, what part of the game is this, bro? When Mike Tyson, my favorite fighters, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Prince Nassim Ahmed, you know, those are my favorite fighters coming up and shit. Roy Jones. I didn't give a fuck how many people. I like to watch Roy. You know, I don't give a fuck if there were 3,500 people in the crowd or 14,000. Like, I didn't care about that stuff. But the game getting soft. The game's getting soft and people are starting to care. Excuse me. People are starting to care more about crowd counting and pocket watching and shit. What about fighting, like the legacy of it and stuff? Like, did you really care how many people were in South Africa for Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman? Like, honestly, I don't know what type of crowd. I don't even. That's what I'm saying. Those things before the social media, the social media era, those things weren't even really relevant. Like, nobody cared about that. I didn't care how many people were. I cared that Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis, and what is he going to do to correct that? And he did what he was supposed to do. He came back and avenged that loss. You know, now people are crowd counting and, oh, yeah. And I noticed they do that with Al Heyman fights. They never tell me, I never see Miguel Berchelt, Francisco Vargas rematch with Isaac Dogbe Navarrete crowd counting. You know, Regis Prograis or, you know, any of these DAZN fights. You know, you don't see them crowd counting like that. So that tells you what you need to know. That old media is full of shit, and they're the real ones that is biased. They're not giving no fair shakes, bro. They name one person that was talking about the crowd for Vargas Berchelt rematch. And according to Abel Sanchez last year, black fighters fight in a style that's unpleasing. So why you guys care so much about these black ass fights? You know what I'm saying? And what crowds they did, like Wilder, Brazil, J-Rock versus Hurd. Why you care so much about them? I thought Abel Sanchez said that, you know, black fighters are unmarketable or whatever he was talking about. That's what I'm saying. Old media is just a bunch of fake shit and propaganda. They don't care about crowd. They ain't talking about Lomachenko Corolla crowds and how many tickets were sold and how many were comped. But then everyone turns into fucking auditors with Al Heyman fights. Oh yeah, man, they comped 1,300 tickets and, you know, they lied about the number, but they not saying that about Canelo 600K concurrent and 600K in places like Switzerland. You just taking their word for it. But then when Showtime releases, no, just come on, bro. And when Wilder numbers release, oh, they lied about the numbers. All right, bro. Brian said DAZN has had events with less than 1,000 people in attendance, and they didn't talk about that. Yeah, what about Gerald Miller in that fucking barnyard in Kansas? That shit looked dead door. I've seen rave parties and shit with more people. That EDC shit got more people than that. You know what I'm saying? That EDC shit that they be doing. The fucking Coachella had more people than that. What about Thomas Delorme, Jesse Vargas in Chicago? How many people went to that? See, they're not talking about that. That's why we don't believe it. Look at the hoodie though. Look at that hoodie though. He didn't bring a fighter from France. That's Tony Yoka. He fight out here in the Bay. I met him. I've interviewed him. He's cool. He's an Olympian. I don't know why that was so funny, but whatever. Yeah, man. Old media be on that fuck shit. Let's do a serious vote. How many people? It's funny because I made the video and then this is true story, yo. I said, man, where's the Joshua promotion? Literally after I made the video, I seen it said AJ Meek Mill episode is releasing today. I swear I made a video questioning when the Meek Mill. I was like, has anyone seen it? When's it coming out? We're a couple days out from the fight. 9 days out from the fight. Where's the special? Has anyone watched it? And then I got off of that stream, and then it said the thing was releasing today. I just thought that was hilarious. But anyway, who watched it? How many people watched it? Because I haven't watched it yet. How many people watched the AJ 24/7 type Meek Mill special? He said, I noticed that too, Ego. No, that's true story. Bro, I did a video saying, man, when's this shit coming out? When they promote the fight? And then an hour later or some shit, they like, oh, we're releasing it today. See, Ronald don't even know where it's at, bro. The Zone got to step up their promotional game. They need to have Tracy Morgan doing like Hustle Man on Martin. Come on, Chief. You wasn't feeling that, Chief? Pick up the Hustle Man. I was feeling up the pick up the pieces. They need Tracy Morgan out here hustling this DAZN stuff because the promotion is lacking, bro. They lacking with the promotion. He said, I watched it. It was okay. Nothing special. Bro, see, here's my ultimate thing. Meek Mill felt random as fuck. Bro, because they're trying. I'm telling you, this is just my honest opinion. Like, Meek's cool. But I feel like they're trying to buy into the heart. That's not how it works. That's not how the game, like, you can't buy your way into shit. It's, you just can't buy your way. It's like, it just feels forced. See, Joshua, it doesn't even seem like, if you look at the people he kicks it with, like when he's in his video, like, it don't even look, none of them act like anything like Meek from what I've seen. So it just seems forced. It don't even look like Meek Mill and AJ would even kick it like that. Now, if you had Tevin Farmer and Meek, that's different because they know each other and they from Philly, that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? You can't just, that's not how cosigns work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, it's like I don't even need a celebrity to endorse. If you just come out with a fire edit, it's a fire edit. It's boxing. Meek Mill is not necessarily the authority on boxing, nor does it look like him and Joshua would be kicking it. You can't, I don't know, man. To me, that's not like Meek Mill. And see, this is the other thing. Meek Mill can't give Joshua persona and personality. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, Meek Mill can't force the issue and make Joshua come across to Americans as likable. Shout out to Slip the Jab. He said, Ego, you on point. I was just about to say they trying to use Meek to bridge the gap. That's what I'm telling you. It's just like we see it in politics. Like Donald Trump, dumbass, he'll bring Steve Harvey. Oh yeah, if I get the kings of comedy, these monkeys they're gonna really love me. Motherfucker don't care if you shaking Steve Harvey's hand. That ain't gonna make people vote. It's just like I said, it's like kind of political. They're like, they think if they just get someone from the culture, like, oh shit, it just feels forced. It should have just got Colin Kaepernick to make Joshua seem down. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Colin Kaepernick did a special with Dominic Brazil, that don't change the fact that Dominic Brazil didn't resonate with a lot of people in the culture, because he was like, yeah, Wilder, he's just a chump. He's a chump. I don't even know what he's saying. Like, Dominic Brazil was talking like almost as if he was like not even black. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know this is gonna throw a lot of people off, and he looks light skinned, so he might even be biracial. But what I'm saying is, there's no acting black and all that. I get it, but what I'm saying is, a lot of people weren't feeling Dominic Brazil's trash talk, and it's hard to quantify because there's no actual formula. But from what I've heard, from what I've seen, Dominic Brazil, his trash talk didn't resonate with a lot of people in the culture, period. Because he was acting like almost as if he wasn't even in if he wasn't in Wilder's age group. Like he was talking like a 70-year-old white Jewish person from Harvard that is not, that is so separated from the culture in like inner cities and urban slang that he couldn't understand it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't expect Warren Buffett to know Bay Area slang. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm like, hey, bruh, feel me, man, stay ready, this lit, bruh. Warren Buffett would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's lit? Who has a lighter? It's on fire, because he's not from the Bay, and he's not, it's hard to explain, but I wouldn't expect him to understand like certain, like Tatiana. I can't just be talking to him like that. He's not going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. If I start telling him about stuff Nipsey said or bars from Eminem or Royce, he probably won't get it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to break down a, battle rap punchline or some shit. Man, he just said this, and he said, slow it down, I just dissed you. He said, I popped the Ruger, it's snot. You get it? Snot, he's not going to probably grasp what the fuck I'm talking about or why that line is so ill. And that's how Dominic Brazil was making himself. Dominic Brazil was making himself sound like he was like some Harvard graduate that didn't, just like, remember the movie How High? Remember the dude in there? And they're like, yeah, man, fuck you, dude. When he got up in the college, he acting like that, like fucking Braxton P. Hartnebrig or some shit. Come across as bougie. That's why Wilder said he's an uppity Negro, because that's the feeling that people got. A lot of people. I can't speak for the whole world, but a lot of people. He was like, oh yeah, Wilder, he's doing all this talk, and I couldn't even understand it, so I got Urban Dictionary. Like, he wasn't even saying anything that, like, Ebonics. He wasn't like, oh, fee, fi, fo, from, e, oh, yeah, ooh, yeah, e, yeah. He wasn't talking like where you would need an Urban Dictionary. So he thought that was what he thought was slick talk, but it made him sound like just like pompous and like he's above Wilder or something. And none of it mattered because Wilder got the ultimate Ebonics with that equalizing right hand. Do you get what I'm saying? So anyway, back to Joshua. It's the same thing. Meek Mill ain't gonna, people like Meek, but that ain't gonna make you hip. You get what I'm saying? That ain't gonna make you hip because like they have to fuck with you. You could get a cosign, but they gotta fuck with you. And I don't know. The UK culture is different. Different experiences, different things that. And even though Joshua seems very inspired by American culture, it's just different. Because like they gotta fuck with you. That's the best way to put it. Joshua, like, to me, I thought that his whole gym tour was kind of a waste of time. He's breaking down graffiti. If you come to Cali, bro, come to Cali, bro. Graffiti is everywhere. It's everywhere. We don't need you to be like no tour guide on graffiti. We get it. Do you get what I'm saying? But he's not from the U.S., so he don't know that. Come to L.A. You know, if you want to talk, bro. He act like we don't need you to explain this shit. You know, and he's oh, you see this continent, that's Africa. We know what the fuck Africa look like. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, nobody needs you to outline simple stuff like that. He's like I said, it's a different culture. That's like him having a gym in LA and going to a Nipsey Hussle mural. You see, this is Nipsey Hussle. He was slain as mad, and the marathon continues. So we had the graffiti of Nipsey. Like, we know, motherfucker. We know what Nipsey Hussle look like. We know who's on the mural. Like, we don't need, I had the graffiti artist put the braids, because neighborhood Nip, he had braids in his hair, you know. He was Eritrean, like, which is not Ethiopian. Like, we don't need, like, you know what I'm saying, that history lesson shit. We know who the fuck Nip is. Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on. Like, we know Nip. You don't have to break down graffiti. Pretentious, great words. Yeah, he was like, there's a lot of cats, different cats. So you have a tiger, a lion, and liger. I like panthers. Like, it's like a little kid showing you. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know how people took it, but to me, it's like a little kid showing you what he built in. Like, you know, kids be coming home from school. They made like a stick figure family with popsicle sticks, and it's some dumbass shit, but you a parent, so you just gotta like, oh, that's cool. Like, I used to be in Boy Scouts, all that shit. Boy Scouts honor, I ain't lying. I was in Boy Scouts, you know. The Black Channel. Hey, you can't have like no lightweight hood family and be in Boy Scouts. The motherfuckers, my mom is just too real, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you have in Boy Scouts, you have like Boy Scout do, and my mom will always have I'm at the troop meetings, and the bill ain't paid and shit, and the scout leaders asking me about it. My mom, she was not trying to prioritize no Boy Scouts. Oh, fuck them scouts, you know. We got to pay these bills. You gonna be scouting in the dark, motherfucker. So yeah, I used to be embarrassed as fuck going to them troop meetings. My dues, that's like, as a kid, that's like your rent is due. You know, that's the equivalent, bro. I be in the scout meetings illegally and shit. Ain't paid dues in 2 months. My mom had me fucked up. I was fucked up. The scout leaders and shit, Eagle Scouts and shit. Hey man, you need some money? Damn, that shit was embarrassing, bro. Real talk, that shit was embarrassing. My mom was not prioritizing them scout dudes and shit. But anyway, I was in Boy Scout. I used to make little derby cars for my dad. Oh, that's cool. You know, ain't nobody care about this shit, bro. I made him a toolbox. That shit was lightweight wet, though. I can't tie a knot, though. I'll knot you, motherfucker. I'll hog tie one of y'all motherfuckers, bro. Hey, y'all disrespected, bro. That's what happened. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. My mom was not coming up off them dudes. The scout leader, hey, you think you can have my money? They was talking to the scout leaders coming to me like Ken G from Martin and shit. Hey, man, what about that $40 you owe us? Silence. That shit was embarrassing going to Boy Scout and shit. My dues ain't paid and shit, bro. But I was fitted, though. I can't front. I was fitted in that shit. With that outfit, I was fitted. I had the little Crip bandana. I was looking like Scout Nip. I was looking like neighborhood Nip as a scout, bro. Getting all the patches, bro. Block, you undone. Yeah, you about to be undone, motherfucker. You about to be MTV unplugged. We about to unplug your ass. Fuck you, mean. Young Dunn. Yeah, you young and you done. Get Young Dunn out of here. Great. See, I like the new trolls because they be having usernames that show their fate. Young done. You young and you done because you out of here. Get him out of here. They names be telling you what it is. Young done. Yeah. Get him out of here. Shooters, get rid of this motherfucker, bro. Young done gotta go. Nobody cares. Go to old media. They need you. We don't. Yeah, man. Broke ass Boy Scout. My parents had me fucked up in that shit, bro. Borrowing money from other scouts and shit. Hey, man, I get the dues to you. Fuck that. Man, fuck these Boy Scouts. Finkley is your only shooter? Nah. Finkley be putting in work though. He just put the one up. That's how you know that they run up and get done up, and then he threw that one up. Anyway, yeah, Joshua, it's different culture. See, and that's what you have to understand is like different. Like in Sor Rungvisai's culture, eating a dried up crucified rat is popping. That's cool. That's what he wants to eat. That's cool, but that's not popularized in America. You can't just be out. You can't go play. Meet your boy at the 24-hour fitness about the hoop, and then you walk in with a dry fricasseed rat, and hold on, yeah, hold on, I'm gonna change in a minute, and you eating rat. It's different cultures, I'm not mad if y'all motherfuckers eat rat, then that's what it is. But he was eating rat. There's different cultures, and that's how it is with the UK. The British humor, and all that shit. That's not necessarily like. I don't know. It doesn't. It's not necessarily what resonates here. Like, okay, here's an example. So it said eat rat. What the fuck? Hey, bro, he was chomping on that rat. He had that rat jerky or whatever he was eating. But anyway, here's an example. Joshua, I don't know if it's British humor or yes men around him, but sometimes he be cracking jokes, and to me, they're not funny. Like, I'm just being honest with you. They're not funny at all. And then people would be like, and I'm like, that really wasn't funny to me. But maybe it's a different culture. Like, you see that video where he was like, he was doing a Wilder impression, and he was like, "Toward this drag," and he did his mouth really weird. Like, who was that? He was like, "Toward this drag." Like, who was that? Wilder with a stroke? Like, who? That didn't even sound or look like, I'm the king of impressions. That was horrible. That Wilder impression was horrible. He was like, "To this day," and then he started busting up. I'm like, that was trash. Like, that wasn't funny. That didn't even sound like him. Like, I don't know. Maybe my background's different because I was into acting, so I take these impersonations serious. Like, if I say, "You not rocking with your man 50 Cent," hey, you gotta do something, baby. Hey, nigga, you gotta be feeling real bulletproof in that motherfucker. I want to actually sound like 50, not this "Twitters die." Like, that was horrible, and everyone in the room was like, "Ah!" Like, that was just like he hit that shit, bro. And see, the other thing is this: making fun of "Till This Day" goes to show you they don't know us. That's another thing. Wilder, when he said that, he really meant that shit. He really meant that shit. And he was feeling a type of way because of systemic oppression and, just the way blacks are treated and people to not know the history. He was really offended by it. Like, would you yo people too? But you making a joke of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like when Slave Daddy Barry Hearns said what he said. Oh yeah, this was like the slave trade. We could just pick them. We just line them up and pick them, and now I gotta call him Mr. White. What you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? That in the UK, maybe that's funny. I don't know, but in America, not so funny. It's not so funny, you know. So it's just different cultures. So, you know, the zone, they how are you? Just I'm telling you, I'm telling you the game. I don't have no problem with nobody from nowhere, but all of your top stars are not from America. This is what HBO tried, and they failed at it. Triple G, Kazakhstan. Anthony Joshua, to this day, you know, from the UK. Canelo from Mexico. And 3 out of the 3 of them don't have these charismatic personalities. Like, you know what I'm saying? To, like, the gift of gab, like Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner, Conor McGregor. Am I lying? Am I lying? So they dump in 20 million for Steve Rolls and Triple G, you know, 36 for Canelo and Danny Jacobs, whatever the fuck Anthony Joshua's getting, and none of them even build up the fight like that. So they don't even have the gift of gab to even promote the fight like that. So you have to rely all on their fights just delivering with their inherent fan base. But here's the problem. You got foreign fighters, and in their foreign homelands, there's different distributions and broadcasting set up. Like in Mexico, Canelo versus Jacobs was aired, but it wasn't aired on DAZN. It was aired through TV Azteca and some other companies that are based out of Mexico. For the UK, they got Sky Sports doing the distribution. I don't know who does the distribution for Triple G in Kazakhstan. So DAZN doesn't get to reap the benefits. So that's what I'm saying. It becomes imperative that you appeal to American audiences, because this is the prime real estate that you are looking to capture. This is very simple mathematics that I am breaking down to you. Versus Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao. Everybody knows Pacquiao. He's not from America, but they know him. My mom knows who Pacquiao is, doesn't watch a lick of boxing or UFC, but she knows who Pacquiao is. It's just Pacquiao. You know, he's been relevant for the last 15, 20 years or whatever. Keith Thurman, America, you can understand him. He's like, oh, he's not Tupac, but he's da-da-da. I'm going to retire. You understand what he's saying. He's trying to promote the fight. Charlo, you understand everything that they're saying. You speak the common language, and you make attempts to sell the fight, those types of things. Errol Spence is going in on Keith Thurman. He's talking about Sean Porter. Man, Sean Porter, he can't sell a family dinner. Man down, you know. You get it. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like you have to have that spark. That's a big part of it. Even Conor McGregor, he's not from America, but he's adopted a lot of culture vulture shit. He's adopted a lot of American culture, and people fuck with him, and they understand what he's saying. Even though he has an accent, they know what he's talking about and like his approach. DAZN, all of their top dogs don't go out of their way to, like, I don't see them going viral off of pre-fight banter. Wilder went viral off of To This Day. Name something that Joshua did where he said something and it went viral. Not like a fight highlight. I'm talking about like pre-fight talk. Wilder said, I want to catch a body so bad. I'm in the only sport in America, you know, where I could take a man's life and it's all legal. And he was smiling about it. He went viral. That's what these companies don't get. They're trying to do the HBO 2.0 thing. Good luck. Good luck. HBO has already been tried and tested. The difference being HBO was in the boxing business for 45 years and it still didn't work. And they had shows like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. So imagine a new company taking the same approach. I'm telling you guys the blueprint. You have to invest in your American talent as well. You look at DAZN, their American talent. They got Devin Haney, all-star. You know, they got him fighting in Maryland. Eddie Hearn just admitted that they thought about relocating to Vegas, but they decided to keep the fight in Maryland. Devin Haney is from Vegas. His Vegas folk, he's born in the Bay Area, you know, where I reside. He's born out here in the Bay, trains and lives in Vegas, and you thought about moving his fight to Vegas, but you left it in Maryland. Do you know how, like, from an economic standpoint, for a fight of that magnitude, Antonio Moran, who is not a known name like that, do you know how economically this is not? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Eddie Hearn and DAZN, you know, if they're just relying on Eddie Hearn. I don't know if he understands and grasps the landscape of boxing and in the geography of America. Do you know how hard it is for Americans? It's not the same level of like wages and cost of living and or loyalty. Do you know how hard it's going to be for non-immediate family and close friends to go from the West Coast all the way to Maryland to watch a fight like Antonio Moran and Devin Haney? When if you put it in America, people can drive down from the Bay, catch a hop and catch a quick little hour flight. You know, people in Vegas already live there, in Nevada. It becomes more easy for them to go to. But you put him all on a different coast where he's not even really like established on that coast and expecting it to necessarily that's your main event on a paid platform. Like Showtime, they had his last fight was comparable to that, and it's cheaper than DAZN, and it was on Showtime. I just don't see, like, that don't make sense to me. It really don't make sense. They should just put that shit in Vegas. The moment Usyk and Takam was off, they should have just, but they probably have fees and deposits and shit tied up with the Maryland, and they didn't want to, you know, maybe lose a deposit, or I don't know how it works, but I'm sure you have to pay something for wasting the MGM National Harbor's time. But you know, it is what it is. Like that, those things don't make sense. Like, this is no disrespect. Listen, when I tell you this, that's why I don't know if Eddie Hearn and DAZN realize the geography of America. But like, there's no disrespect intended, because I know I have fans from everywhere. But hear me out. I don't know. I've never been to Maryland, and that goes to show you what I'm talking about. I've never been to Maryland. I don't know what there is to do out in Maryland per se. But if you're from Maryland, shout out to you. Versus Al Heyman got Charlo about the rematch, Tony Harrison. The first one was in New York, and he's putting the second one in Vegas. Vegas is somewhere that everybody needs to go. Just to be on the Strip, and there's just a lot of shit to do. Shopping, food, they got hotels with roller coasters, very nice hotels. It's not expensive, shit like that. Everybody go to Vegas in their lifetime, right? And the thing becomes, it's like a destination. Like it's who doesn't like, when I cover fights in Vegas, not just because I live in Cali and it's like easy, an easy trip for me, same time zone and everything. But who doesn't want an excuse to get to Vegas? Like when I post, like, bitches be on my Instagram and stuff and see, like, I post, oh, you're in Vegas, lucky. Vegas is like a touristy, and it's like a destination spot. Like, who wouldn't want to get to go to work and they have to work in Vegas? Easy to get around and move around. I used to rent cars when I go to Vegas when I was a rookie covering fights. I don't rent cars. I just Uber and Lyft. I just Lyft. I don't really do Uber anymore. I've been doing Lyft, but I just Lyft around, or walk. So it becomes more like Vegas is just a destination. Who doesn't want to go to Vegas? You get what I'm saying? Versus Maryland, there has to be probably a reason why you're just going to Maryland. Like I said, I've never been there, so I don't know what there is to do and stuff like that. But I know it's not the same as like New York, L.A., and Vegas. There has to be a specific reason. Like, for example, I bet you Maryland. I bet you shit closes in Maryland before it does in Vegas. You can do shit. You can get food in Vegas. I eat pizza at 3, 4 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning in Vegas. Try getting a slice of pizza in, where Crawford's from, in Omaha or Maryland, in different areas like that. It's not as easy. So they should have definitely moved the Devin Haney fight to Vegas. Eddie Hearn is being blackballed from a lot of these arenas, so he is having a hard time his own doing. I don't know. I don't know if he's being blackballed. That might be. It's possible. I don't know if it's so much him being blackballed. Maybe. I think the events that they're being put on, they don't want to pay the wages because they know the fights aren't big enough to put them in those venues. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, being in a big city, I'm sure you have to pay big city fees and wages. Like, New York's expensive and shit like that. So it's probably cheaper to get a wherever they fought in Kansas City, or the MGM Harbor in Maryland is cheaper than the MGM Grand in Vegas. So I think that's kind of what it is. I think they don't have the events that facilitate renting out some of the larger ones. Ego, this is a slight tangent, but I hit Vegas 7 times the year. I got divorced just to remove myself from the situation. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Vegas is like an escape. They got strip clubs and all types of shit. My man Southpaw was wilding. That divorce had him wilding, so he was at the girl collection. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. He actually said it himself. They're saying no to him. Oh, wow. Heyman had control over a lot due to his music background. Well, then that's an issue in itself. My man was at the girl collection. I just had Tacos El Gordo on the strip in Vegas at 3 a.m. this past weekend. See, boss life. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a destination. People who wouldn't, like I said, who wouldn't want to go to Nevada, Vegas, and it's cheap. I don't know about venues and shit, but I'm saying, like, you can get if there's nothing else major going on, you can get a room. I got rooms in Vegas for $24 a night before. I was at the Hard Rock. I got a nice ass room. It was like a suite, and they charged me. They upgraded me because I'm that dude. But it was only $24 a night. Only thing I hate about Vegas, they be charging you resort fees. Man, what the fuck is a resort fee? This ain't no fucking resort. Hey, I'm about to resort to violence if y'all don't take this shit off. You talking about a goddamn resort fee. Yeah, you gonna make me resort to going bad on you. Yeah, talking about some resort fees. Oh, you're paying for the Wi-Fi. Yeah, this shit better be fast. You mean I'm paying a resort fee for Wi-Fi, and it should be hella slow, like AOL dial-up. Yeah. That's the only thing. Like, I'm paying for the room and the resort fee, though. Really? And even if you get a comp room, I think they still charge you like resort fees and tax. Hey, bro, y'all tripping. This is how you keep the lights on. You gonna be charged. Oh, listen, if you go to Vegas though and you staying in a hotel, go to them little stores before you get back to your room, cause them stores will hit you. I got a Gatorade. That shit was like $6.50 or some shit. I was like, damn, for a Gatorade? Like, I was thirsty as a bitch. I was like, man, I'm so hot. It's a desert, so they try to get you. I was about to dehydrate. Need that Gatorade. Is it in you? I had to get that Gatorade. It was like $7.50. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna slap you. $7.50. You gonna have to tell me a lot because I like potato chips. Like $7.50 for a Gatorade, bro. I better open it up and that lightning from the logo that need to pop out for $7.50. You better make sure that I need a happy ending with my shit for $7.50. What you talking about, bro? Yeah, I need all the electrolytes. I need MC Light, electrolyte, crystal light. You know what I'm saying? I need all the lights. Shout out to Robert, $2 super chat. Orlando is big on resort fees also. I hate that. Resort fees. They probably pocketing that extra money. Yeah, you got to pay your resort fees. Yeah, I wouldn't get like Skittles and all that from the actual store. Just when you're on the strip or somewhere else, hit up a CVS or something and then just bring it back to the room. I like Vegas though, because it's still West Coast. You know, I'm the West, you know. But I be feeling like on fight nights, I don't know, it's just a certain feeling fights in Vegas. I be walking through the MGM like Pac when they went to, the Orlando Anderson. I be walking, had that bop to my walk a little bit. I be walking through like Pac and shit. Like what? What's popping? Death Row East, believe in that. Yeah, stock up on snacks before you get back to your room because they're going to hit you over the head at the hotel. But yeah, man. Hey, DeZone, you got to do something, baby. Hey, DeZone, I want my money by Monday. Like, I just... I feel like DeZone got to start turning profit. Like, you see these motherfuckers in the old media, they be trying to turn to accountants and shit. Oh yeah, nobody makes a profit in their first year, so they're supposed to take. Bro, there's a difference between not making a profit and not making sense. Come on, stop playing with me, dog. There's a difference. You could not make profit in your first year, but then there's some things that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Not making profit and not making sense. You're paying Canelo $37 million. I ain't mad. If I was Canelo, I'd get that money too. This motherfucker on his Instagram smashing and all the flyest whips and shit. He enjoying that DAZN money. He's in Paris and all types of shit. I seen Canelo. He was doing 120, in a tunnel somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Canelo don't. I would be doing the same thing if they paying like that. Look at Nello. Look, I was born ready. Look, he's smashing. He don't give a fuck. He charged it to the game. Look, he about to travel in time like Back to the Future. He driving hella fast, bro. I was born ready. Look, he think he in the Fast and Furious. Look. Canelo don't give a fuck. He got that bag. He where is he at? He's in Monaco smashing. Look. Charge it to the game. Look. I was born ready. So I ain't mad at Canelo. I'll be doing the same thing. But for DAZN as a company, I hope it's worth it. You paying him $37 just out his pocket. Not whatever you're paying to hold the venue, whatever you got to pay, whatever, because Golden Boy got to get a profit. Jacobs got to get his cut. DAZN got to make something. It's not 600,000 concurrent views. That don't seem like enough to justify that. Even when Floyd Mayweather was fighting like Robert Guerrero's and Maidana, he was doing pay-per-views, charging $85 a pay-per-view. He was charging $85 a pay-per-view. It's gonna get to your goals quick. Okay, put it this way. It's just common sense, people. Let's say I'm trying to raise $1,000 and I start getting super chats. $9.99 super chats, $19.99 super chats, or $75 and $85 super chats? What's going to help me get to 1,000 faster? Common sense. The bigger the super chat, the bigger and the faster you reach your goals. Period. The zone about to hit him with that contract stipulation, speed limit only. Yeah, they need to. They're going to put a stop payment on it for the speed violation. And like I said, the thing that's scary about that is even if they like 600,000 in America, what is Joshua going to do? Does Joshua have more drawing power in America than Canelo versus Jacobs? Canelo? I don't see that, especially with the late replacement opponent. And Andy Ruiz just did an interview with Sky Sports talking about how people are sleeping on him because the way he looks. So perception is reality. You know, the people perceive that. I know Andy Ruiz can scrap, but not everyone knows that. You know, people are perceiving it how they perceive it. So I can't wait. I hope they release the numbers for Anthony Joshua. I really do, because I want to see. Because people were laughing at Wilder doing $1 million on a premium network, which is a paid network. You know. So let's see how much DAZN gets. Let's see if they release the numbers. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second. Hey, I'll be back. I'll do another live stream in a little bit. Holla at the boy.